this feeling like it's starting now, starting now. I feel adventurous with you, and there is nothing that can hold us back, hold us back. We can do what we wanna do, 'cause we got all the time in the world, for better or worse. We should stay together, so let's stay young and in love. We should focus on us forever. Yeah, baby, if you are feeling like I do, we could run away across the ocean. Baby, what you say? We can leave today. Anywhere we'll go, we'll be alright. It's all about you. It's all about you. It's all about you. It's all about you. Doesn't matter if we make mistakes, which I can promise that we'll do. Just hold my hand and we will be okay. Yeah, it's true, 'cause we got all the time in the world, for better or worse. We should stay together, so let's stay young and in love. We should focus on us forever. Yeah, baby, if you are feeling like I do, we could run away across the ocean. Baby, what you say? We can leave today. Anywhere we'll go, we'll be alright. It's all about you. It's all about you. It's all about you. It's all about you.
Hello, everyone. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Sunday to all of the moms out there, to all of the aunties who help the moms, all of the dads to be moms because moms aren't there. Happy Mother's Day to you. How is everyone? Everyone hear me okay? Okay, can everyone hear me all right? Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. Yes, it is Sunday. Can you believe that it's almost the end of March, y'all? I feel like this week has made March seem like 3 times longer. I'm exhausted. Hello to Karen Isabel, our new member. Thank you so much for joining. And thank you, as always, to everybody who supports. And thank you, everybody, for joining today's podcast. So we're just going to do a roundup, really, of the last week. A couple of things that have come out since yesterday. And really, unless, you know, something major comes out about this in the next couple of days, I'm assuming there will be firings and other such dramas when the Cambridges get home. I do kind of just want today to be a bit of a wrap up because I did not expect to cover this tour in any capacity, but it decided to offer more drama than I think any of us could have ever imagined. So yes, Joan Commonwealth, it was a March Madness indeed. Don't forget to hit that like button. Yes, thank you very much, Gina. And I hope you like the new song. It's a little bit different, but I heard the lyrics and it reminded me so much of Harry and Meghan. I thought the lyrics just really spoke to who they are. So I think all the usuals are here. Joan Commonwealth is here. Aldridge is here. Hi, Truthie Dilly. Hi, Marsha. Veronica Quick. That's not a name I think I've seen. Welcome to you. Hello, Lydia. Sandra, Patricia, hi. Susie Q, hi. Sylvia, hi. Elaine, hi. Okay. Yes, Veronica, a hot mess roll. Kathy, the gift that kept giving. Yes, indeed. Okay, so before we get started on the main parts about the tour, just a reminder for you to go and listen to the Archetypes podcast trailer if you haven't already heard it. And I also wanted to give a shout out to the artist who produced the song that you can hear featured in the intro. I did wonder who it was, and I actually started following her on Twitter, and she started following me. Her name is Little Yamaha. She only has 474 monthly visitors and listeners on Spotify. So let's please go to Spotify and follow her and listen to her songs and get the streams up. And her profile says Little Yamaha is a female producer bear from West London, so she's from the UK. And again, just seeing once again how Meghan reaches out to female content creators and women-led businesses to feature in her work as well. And I don't know what she actually looks like, but she goes by this kind of really cool bear-looking avatar, and she's heavily influenced by UK underground and UK garage. And if you actually listen to her songs, you can very much hear the influence, and all of her songs are actually really nice. So go to listen to her on Spotify. The song in the trailer is called Bossy, but she has other songs as well. So just wanted to give a shout out to her before we got started. Oh yes, Nightly Night. Unfortunately, when the Queen dies, they will blame Harry and Meghan. I'm just waiting for it at this point. It'll be Harry and Meghan minding their own business and feeding Archie's chickens, and not Andrew. I'd be interested to see in what capacity Andrew is seen next week at Philip's Memorial. If they're smart, they'll just let him slip through the back door and sit at the back. But I'm still convinced that they're going to try and use this as an attempt to bring him back into the fold, see what the public think, and if nobody makes too much of a fuss, I do think that they're going to attempt to try and bring him back into the fold. I really do. And they're saying that it's going to be his last appearance, but I don't believe that. Truth Dilly, green tea Sunday for me. I love green tea also, and matcha. Maggie, William and Kate there for holidays and shop their expensive wares for UK, photo ops for UK Rangers to see. Yeah, well, even they're seeming to, to to look a bit embarrassed now because they didn't pick the winning team, y'all. William and Kate are not the winning team. This whole tour, if anything, has shown that they're just not prepared. And you know, they've been married royals now for over a decade, and they don't seem to be in sync at all. Give us a link. Well, I can give you a link for her. This is her Instagram. I'll make sure I put these in the on the community tab as well. Definitely go listen to her on Spotify though. That's her Instagram, and this is her Twitter. And I'll just try and get her copy link to artist and her SoundCloud as well. Okay, so that's all that. And support her, please. Yes, definitely. This shows how the Sussexes are going beyond the norm and reaching out to those who are not being heard and seen. And she's quite an or she's literally an unknown. W- Looking at her discography, I can see that it goes back to 2020. So she's probably been making music for a while. Um, but it's great to see them working with people who aren't like massive yet. Mm. Yeah, Joyce, I'm so glad that they won't be present for that circus memorial either. Oh, Creative Life are drinking matcha as well. Fantastic. Joan, I do wonder whose bright idea was that tour anyway. I'm still convinced it was Charles because this is what Charles was doing this week, dancing around in Ireland, having an absolute whale of a time. I mean, look at how happy Charles is doing a river dance, completely and utterly unbothered. And you haven't really heard anything from Clarence House this week. Marsha, they should never bring Peter Light back before the public. I hope they are dragged. I'm kind of hoping that they do, so that they do get dragged, because that's exactly what's going to happen. Diane Hawkins, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and no Harry to hide behind or Meghan to blame for losing a country per day and generally a mess of a tour. Amen to that. Jet Aviation, why are people saying that Harry and Meghan are attending the Oscars? Because of a report that was put out by Sun, but there is no evidence to show that they will thus far. So the Oscars is today, I believe. Beyonce is performing. I'm just calling this the night of Beyonce because that's the only part that matters about the Oscars today. Um, but yeah, it was because of something that the Sun printed. Rhonda, they never held them to a high standard before. What did they expect? Yeah, I think even they have been really shocked by this, but I do think that the online conversation and the conversations on the street have contributed a lot to the changes, also the change tone and the humbling of Kate and William. Kathy, she had to touch his sausage fingers. Oh, Freda, I'm hearing Ghana and still wondering if it was necessary at all for the tour. Well, they absolutely insisted on doing something for the Queen's Jubilee, and it's like, well, you haven't. This is meant to be celebrating 70 years, but what has she actually done in those 70 years? They still honestly think that people are just easily impressed, and we're just not. Yes, Joe blogs. He's happy because will not and cannot really messed up. And it seems like they even found a person of colour to add to Riverdance. Darling, I don't think that's a person of colour. I think she's very tanned. I think she's just very tan, darling. Yeah, Chucky having a great old time, isn't he? Okay, so while Chucky is having a grand old time, it would appear that um the Queen's, well, according to this guy here, well, according to Chris Ship, one of the royal rodents, it it could have potentially been um Queen Edward's private secretary, Edward Young, that helped William write his speech. And he says the new words in William's speech about supporting with pride countries wishing to evolve the relationship as a republic but keep the enduring friendship feels to me like it might have come from the Queen's private secretary, Edward Young, like Granny has stepped in. Now, we know that often when the royal rodent says something, it does come from inside the house. I don't think he would have said this off the cuff. And I wonder if this is their attempt to make it seem like, the Queen is, taking charge and cleaning up this mess. But that was from Chris Ship, and you definitely did hear a change in tone um, in William's more recent speech. And they've already started with other parts of the cleanup job, trying to bring Harry back into this. Rihanna Mills saying that Prince William's next Commonwealth will be led by a non-royal one day. I don't actually believe that that's what Prince William actually said. They're just kind of, I guess, taking his words and putting their own spin on it. Rihanna Mills writing, "What matters to us?" I don't know. That was part of. Yeah, she just reiterates what William was saying as part of their speech, and I do wonder now if there's panic within the palace walls, and they might actually try to pull Harry and Meghan back into the fold to try and do a cleanup. Because let's be honest, the whole purpose of the House of Windsor is just to stay alive and stay relevant. And that included when Harry and Meghan were working royals. But the difference being is that Harry and Meghan genuinely tried to bring them into the present day, to connect with the communities that the Queen and the Commonwealth still reside over in a way that was a lot more balanced, a lot more respectful, and not looking down upon, but working with. But as and when Harry and Meghan, and also Harry on his own when he did solo engagements, specifically the last time he went to Jamaica and Barbados, on none of those occasions did you hear anybody talking about reparations. Did you see protests? Because they knew how to handle the situation. Um, and this whole tour has just shown that they have not, William and Kate and the firm as it is now have not moved on with us. And despite Harry and Meghan's best efforts to move them forward, they just did not want to listen. So, boo-hoo, the world's smallest violin is playing. Sonia, I will say once more, Charles and Camilla are twerking in Clarence's house at this epic fail. I do actually believe that Charles can twerk. Not quite sure about Camilla. Andreen, if Charles has something to do with the tour, oh well, I don't feel sorry for none of them. All they're doing is stabbing each other in the back, and I'm going to watch. Yeah, and if at all Charles did have something to do with this, I'm pretty sure that William is plotting his revenge, as is Carol Middleton, because she must be also furious. The thing is, I don't actually think that the majority of the British public cared whether or not the Jubilee was, this huge deal. This big deal was made out of it, to be honest. And it's just they've gone through all this trouble only to just make a fool of themselves. I think if you'd have just given the British public a few teapots, did some, commemorative documentary or something, that would have just been it. We could have called it a day. Instead, they want to do all this pomp and pageantry when you've got grannies that can't even pay their gas bill. Please make it make sense. Maggie, William, and Kate wanted the spotlight, and they got in disgrace. I was rolling on the floor when the Jamaican PM spoke to them. We're moving on. Yep. Joyce, the sound of the new speech was not written by William Staff. It sounds like someone who knows a little more. Yes, it did sound like someone who was a little bit more experienced wrote that speech. And it sounded more like something that the Queen would say. So I do believe that somebody else wrote it. Also, I don't see why royal tours now just can't be about the business, about doing fair trade deals with these countries, about talking about industry, talking about arts and culture, and celebrating the arts and cultures of these countries, and meeting with innovators, and actually making these tours about promoting people who are being innovative and who are thought leaders in these countries. Like if they did that, I would 100% get behind that. And that is very much what I think that Harry and Meghan were trying to do. Not you show up wearing colonizer cosplay trying to make the plantation days great again. Mm. Yeah, Joe blogs. I hope that Harry and Meghan don't take the bait either. Hope they don't. Oh, thank you so much, Gina Suji. Happy Sunday to you. Bloom and Kate failed woefully with this tour. I am positive that for once they wish Harry and Meghan were around because the Sussexes would have been the ones to go on this tour, either to go on the tour or to take all the heat for the fact that the tour failed. But thank you so much for your comment, darling. Hello, all. If you're just joining us, please do thumbs up. Yes, Kathy G. Harry and Meghan are going to do what's best for their brand, and right now it's not to be associated with the House of Windsor. It's really not to be associated with the House of Windsor. Yes, TP, if they had accepted Meghan with open arms as Prince Harry's wife, it should be everything going to be all right up to now. But no, everything that they did to Harry and Meghan is going to bounce back to them. And the thing is, I do not think for 1 second that Harry or Meghan want to hurt their family members because these are still their family members. I think all they want is just to be left alone. But they're going to defend themselves and protect themselves in whatever way that they can. Kim Coates, their tour was a diversion to get Randy off the front page news. Very much that also. That's a very good point. But now all it's done is put William and Kate on the front page news for all the wrong reasons. And actually now, if Andrew is seen at the memorial, it's just going to be like, oh, there's been an awful tour, and then here they are again with Prince Andrew, after they paid that 12 million to get him off the hook. I can't even believe that they're letting Andrew go. Like, he should just stay under the rock he crawled under. Stay there. Yeah, Marsha, this is the point that a lot of people have made. The Jubilee is really tone deaf, given everything that's going on. Really don't know why they think it's a good idea. But it's okay. Just let them continue to make a fool of themselves. And as they continue to make a fool of themselves, we will just do this. Mm-hmm. So moving on from that, what do we have next? And yeah, everyone who hates on Meghan seems to have a very particular look, don't you think? Every single one of them. Somebody on Twitter, I didn't make this. Somebody on Twitter made a very nice compilation of everyone who hates Meghan and what they look like. And there's a running theme here. God don't like ugly, he gonna make you ugly. Look at how pretty Meghan looks. Teresa, the thing I've noticed is when did a Commonwealth tour, do you mean Harry? Instituted grants, scholarships, etc. Always something to help the locals lift themselves up. Yeah. He always did something. There's actually a clip of Harry. I forgot to record it to play it, but um, and I think it's Harry in South Africa, and he talks about how um he's actually talking to a group of black women, and he's talking about how he wants to use his privilege and his platform, and how he still very much feels like he wants to earn respect, just being very, very humbled, talking to these women in a way that I've never seen William talk to anyone. So it's just, Harry just has a self-awareness that the rest of this institution does not, because yes, Sugar Queen, William is clueless. Karen Warner, Kate just wanted to go out there and look like Meghan every step in every scene. She was trying hard for the photo ops. Or not just like Meghan, like Diana and the Queen too. I mean, I really don't understand why they can't just get her own original style. Yes, 99. People don't care about the jubbly. People have to decide to heat or eat. Outrageous. Andreen, they need Harry and Meghan. Well, Harry and Meghan need security too. By the way, where is Archie and Lily's titles? I have no idea about anything to do with the titles. The whole they should give back their titles, to rip them of their titles. We haven't heard that in a while. Have you noticed? I think they got bored of that. Especially with the whole thing with Prince Andrew. I think that's why they stopped because they realized how stupid it sounded to be talking about strip Harry and Meghan of their titles when Andrew still has his. Thank you so much, Caroline, for the super sticker. Happy Sunday, darling. Mm. Tracy Lynn, Charles is a clever fox. I believe he gave William enough rope to hand himself. Yeah. I mean, Charles is definitely cunning. Gotta say that. William, sorry, Butterfly. William should have done his homework. As usual, they just walk in and get the credits. Officers get more involved with staff when they're doing a project. Well, according to this article by Kate Manzi, I guess that can take us to the next slide. William, um, she's saying that William came prepared. Obviously not. Inviting a Jamaican-born Caribbean specialist, Major David Clark, to join him on the week-long trip. Well, who was this Major David Clark and what was he doing? Because clearly his presence did not help. And this is the same Kate Manzi, by the way, who wrote this article, who wrote the article lying about Harry's security. And I believe that is also part of a court case now. Her saying in the headline, protest PR disasters, but no end of tender touches. Kate Manzi, ringside seat on the Caribbean tour that rocked the Commonwealth. See, this whole thing now praising William and Kate for tender touches. They bashed Harry and Meghan for doing the same thing, for showing PDA. And now that it's William and Kate, it's tender touches. And why the desperation to try and big up the Cambridge's relationship? But Kate Manzi also says in her article, it was clear from being there on the ground that Trenchtown had actually welcomed them with open arms, but it looked bad. The keyboard warriors on social media had no desire to put it into context. All the damage was done. We actually did put it into context, Kate Manzi, and we pointed out that it was bad optics and that they should have done better. Because if it was Harry and Meghan, Kate Manzi, and to all of the other royal rodents, if any of you are listening, the way you picked apart every single move that Harry and Meghan did when they did nothing wrong, and now you want to complain that people are taking things out of context when it comes to William and Kate. And all we're saying is that William and Kate and the firm, with all of the resources that they have, should just know to do better and should understand optics a lot better. And 24 hours after the pictures of William and Kate putting their hands through cages were taken, they still came out in colonizer cosplay. So they had so many opportunities to course correct, but they just continued and it just got worse and worse and worse. 24 hours later, they did this. So you can sit there and say that people were taken out of context all you want, but every single time they had a chance to course correct, they just made things worse for themselves. And whose fault is that? Is theirs. It's not the social justice keyboard warriors, as you want to put it, because actually, there are a lot of people that have had a lot of issues with the royals for a long time. This is just a combination of all of that anger and frustration. It didn't start on this tour with people online. It started long ago. We're just seeing it now because we're in the internet age. Dolores, they definitely don't want to lose Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. Well, they probably just should not send William and Kate if they don't want to lose them. Isn't Anne going to Australia though? Either Anne or the Wessexes, someone. I don't know. Joe Blogs, this is a bit like trying to tell us we didn't hear or see William say what he said recently about war in Europe. Yes, about war in Europe, about African babies. Those people are too busy believing their own hype. And this is the problem. They believe their own hype way too much. Creative life, what you are speaking of is a modernized monarchy, which is 100% what H&M were trying to do. Oh, well, the unroyal family fumbled the ball. Yes, and I do believe that royals really should be more like mediating diplomats that facilitate kind of low level talks. So we can go and talk about low level trade deals and um, doing things like promoting, like I said earlier, promoting locals and their work and their innovation and all the great things that they're doing in their country. That type of stuff really is what I think that royals should be for. Um, Not going around and waving at people like you're still the master and they're still the slave. Not in this here 2022. Not today, Satan. True for Dilly, very true. The tour should be about innovation, but they are convinced that everyone is happy to breathe the same air as them. Nah, the world has moved on. Wake up, royal family. Indeed. Hello, hello. You're not late at all, darling. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, Andreen, Harry and Meghan have a company to run. They're trying to start an entertainment company. They haven't got time for such nonsense anymore. Okay. Yes, Lagan say wasting taxpayers' money on tours, wasting taxpayers' money on Andrew, and wasting taxpayers' money on the Dobley. Meanwhile, there were a record number of millionaires and billionaires created during the pandemic. Unbelievable. Yes, Tash, that's a very good point. The 12 million that they're claiming is this what the British media is claiming? We don't actually know. Yes, Marsha, it was a divine signal when Harry and Meghan left Shutter Island. Joe Blow, Duchess of Sussex. I'm still trying to work out what friendship is being referred to. Yeah, I actually found William's speech, while it was said a little bit better, I still found it a little bit condensing. Talking about friendship, like what friendship? Like your great ancestors enslaved these people. Look at this picture on the screen. Look at the picture. What friendship are you talking about? Does this look like friendship to you? Yes, Diane. The failed tour might serve as a diversion for Andy, but the poor outcomes were not intentional. Not at all. I don't have the clip with me, but I think Baron played it on his podcast, and it was someone literally asking William to his face about reparations. And I couldn't tell whether or not William understood what he was saying, or he couldn't understand what he was saying, and he just tried to ignore the guy. It just beggars belief that they still think just showing up in dresses and cosplay is what impresses people. How? How? I mean, if you want to show up in dresses and impress people, just be celebrities and go to red carpets. Not all of this royal nonsense. Yes, Armor. She took Diana's dress and refashioned it, and the Queen's. I think it was like a hybrid of the two. And also, I can't see any evidence that Kate wore anything from local designers. Oh, Jasmine, you got your Clever Blend starter kit. Please do tell us how you like them. I still haven't ordered Clever Blends yet, but they only started shipping to the UK recently, so I'll order it soon. Thank you so much, Diane Dane, for the super sticker. Highly appreciated. Awaken Lady, my final thoughts. Let's get rid of these criminals. Amen. It's it's interesting. I was thinking about this the other day, and if you look at a lot of the royal families on mainland Europe, I don't see or sense that people have this great attachment to their royal families in other countries that people have here in Britain. I think they see the royals as just almost just like background ornaments. Is it's part of the culture, and we can do some fancy um traditions and events and stuff, but I think that the royals in other parts of Europe have been very much put into a position where they know their place and they don't overstep their place too much. And that's how I think it should be in this modern era. Karen Warner, Charles is a masterpiece. He was playing his sons all their life. Harry is smart and recognized it, but William, no, is the future king, so he don't have to do anything but go against his brother. Well, if William was smart, he would have teamed up with his brother and put his father in check. But he knows he's the future king. He wants his crown. Well, he's going to be ruling over dust at this point. Jasmine, I think Kate is playing too much of the older gen and those who go on about tradition when it comes to her clothes. Yeah, and isn't it sad that it's really just her clothes that she offers? I mean, I can tell you on the back end of my YouTube analytics, I see um the demographics for this channel, and they are so diverse. It goes literally from 18 to 80. I'm often surprised that it's because often people say Harry and Meghan just appeal to the younger audience. That's actually not true. Um, on my demographics, some of my a lot of my core audience is like 45 and above. So Harry and Meghan have a very diverse audience from all over the world who are very interconnected. Even when I'm in spaces on Twitter, a lot of the people who are on Twitter in spaces, a lot of the times, they're much older. Like they're not even millennials or Gen Z. So I think what Harry and Meghan have done is they've really managed to create a brand that just appeals to such a wide spectrum of people. And it's something that I don't think William and Kate will be able to do. Not at this point. Teresa Wiseman, thank you so much for your super chat. William and Kate are accustomed to being the favored child, so they have no capacity to think beyond themselves. No. And I don't know if at this point, thank you for your comment, Teresa, if at this point they will be able to do that. Is that something you can do at the age of 40 plus? Because shouldn't you have done that already in your life by the time you get to that age? Maggie, many royal rodents, tabloid media, press, and royal staff will lost their jobs now if no more tours to Caribbean countries. So some staff will be fired. Yeah, staff will definitely be fired. Don't you just find it so weird that the royal rodents that go on tour with the royals, they're actually on the same flight? Like, can you imagine having to be around and be on the same flights as people that just write crap about you and know all your secrets? That's just such a weird setup. I can imagine that. I just want to punch everyone and fight everyone all the time. Thank you so much, Ethne Green, for the super sticker. Highly appreciate it. Happy Sunday, darling. Oh, Teresa, I don't know if you donated twice. It's showing me on the back end that you donated twice. I'm not sure, but thank you if you did. Kelly Jen, I had heard that Fortiesa and her husband were going to other Caribbean countries in April. Let's see if that happens. Well, they're probably absolutely terrified to show up at this point. I mean, wouldn't you be? Thank you so much, TCC Sun and Black Queen. Thank you so much, both of you, for your super stickers. Yes, Legan say friendship instead of an apology or operation. Unbelievable. Mm. Yeah, Amy, I see either a divorce or pretending to be together for life. Very likely. All right. Let's move on to the next thing. Yes. So I have never ever highlighted or paid too much attention to hater comments that get put on this channel. But I did want to call out this particular one, this individual called Mary Metcalf, who was blocked and she won't be able to comment on my channel again. But I wanted to highlight this because I think it just speaks to a lot of the delusions. So, first thing she says is, "Can't you just leave our royal family alone?" Well, Mary, I am actually British. I am proud to be British, and so I have the right to say what I feel about very powerful individuals who reside over my country, especially if I feel that they don't do a lot for the country. We pay their taxes, they live a very gilded life, and we have horrible levels of poverty in this country while this very wealthy family are living this gilded life partly off of our taxpayer money and they still have their own private wealth. Okay. And then she goes on to say Harry and Meghan have left now ages ago. Yes, that is true, Mary, but the royal press rats will not leave them alone. Concentrate on supporting them, or rather than drag down our country and royal family. I'm not dragging down our country. In fact, it's the royal family that are dragging down our country by embarrassing us overseas. And our country is made up of 65 million people and has a very rich history. So we are more than just these very privileged and entitled people. It is none of your business. Very much is, darling. All of the countries that want independence can take it, no problem. So clearly, Mary does not have even a basic understanding of geopolitics and why it is the United Kingdom continues to hold on to these countries as a way of actually stopping them from progressing and keeping the last threads of of colonization attached, keeping empire alive by those last threads. The lies about William's apparent affair are lies. It's obvious to all how they are in love. The lies are not lies, Mary, because a super injunction was taken out. So there is something that William is hiding. And leave Kate alone. We would have been happy to leave Kate alone if she didn't stand by silently while her sister-in-law was bullied while pregnant, and she's meant to be a advocate for childhood development. You don't understand the monarchy, she goes on to say. I do very much do. And nobody's asking you to join KP. Didn't say that I wanted to join. We're going to wage a war on woke and protect our freedoms of speech and a free press. Yet the so-called war on woke and the whole culture war that's created around woke and freedom of speech is very much something that's just, I think, part of a wider agenda to divide people. And I think it's sad, Mary, that people like you can't see that. They are not trying to be Harry and Meghan, really, because they seem to copy every single thing that they do. If you don't like it, back to your ancestors' country and help them. Yeah, that's just the usual kind of racist rhetoric that they come out with. Go back to your country, never actually thinking about the fact that part of the reason our countries are in the state that they're in, again, is a lot to do with Western interference. But I am somebody who considers myself cross-cultural. I am Zambian, I am British, and I'm proud to be both. So um, I wish you healing, Mary, and maybe spend your time doing better things than leaving such comments on people's channels. But yeah, we all know that Mary looks like one of these individuals here. Um, so let me just go back to your comments. Hello, Connie from Switzerland. Connie, is it true that McDonald's is £20 in Switzerland? Please confirm. Mm, okay. Uh, Persephones. Kate has no other choice right now but to play the part of an arm piece. She was forced to act because Megan showed her up, but she definitely didn't want to be anything else, like someone stated. Yeah, the woman that Megan is not the type of woman that Kate ever wanted to be, even before she was in the royal family. That much is obvious. And that's not me being mean. It's just the truth. Nothing I say about Catherine is to be mean. It's just the truth. And to be quite honest, we wouldn't even be having a conversation about her if it wasn't so obvious that she was part of the smear campaign to destroy Meghan. Dara, that is a good observation. I would be considered a baby boomer generation. Yeah, and I'm so happy to have so many listeners that are over the age of 45, because I just think it shows that the range of diversity of our backgrounds um, in this fandom, and how many fandoms are like that. Like, really think about that, guys and dolls. How many fandoms can you say have people literally aged 18 to 80? It's not that common. Um, Joe blogs, I'd be really interested to hear what Diana's sisters make of the situation between their nephews and how they think Diana would feel about it. I know we will never know though. Well, they seem pretty. Uh, Harry seems pretty close to his Spencer side still, so I guess we'll never know. But the Spencer side in general seem, or they come across as a little bit more progressive in terms of people in those circles. I know that Kitty Spencer is really good friends with Emma Weymouth. You know, she's a black countess who's married to like another aristo who's part of the royals. I think he's like 30 something in line or something like that. But Kitty's really good friends with her. So just in general, I think the Spencer side, by aristocratic standards, seem a little bit more progressive. Marina, royals in Europe do the job. Look at Letizia and the Queen of the Netherlands and Jordan. They're smart and sophisticated women who engage on business level. Yes, absolutely. All of those women very much do engage in international business, not just showing up and waving. There was one. Um, who is she? She's the wife. Is she the wife of one of the sultans? I've forgotten who it is, but there's this one of the wives of one of the Middle Eastern sultans or something. But like I see her all the time at like business events. I've seen her on CNN, just really taking on the global stage and really getting down to business. And every time I see her, she just speaks so eloquently and she knows what she's talking about and she knows her stuff. And it's just incredible to see so many of the other royal women doing this. Um, and 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 from Catherine, who's meant to be representing the United Kingdom, nothing but mumbles. Like Hidden Beauty, I'm 26 years old. I admire Duchess Meghan and Prince Harry's courage, strength, and ability to connect with others. They are the future. Plus, my 50-year-old mother likes them too. Oh, happy Mother's Day to your mum. Yeah, creative life. If they're going to copy, at least do it right. Oh, is that 76, Marty? That's amazing. It's the unroyals to stay at home. Stay at home and just have tea. Oh, by the way, guys, today I actually made bangers and mash for the first time in years. Any of you looking for a simple and quick to make British dish? Look up the recipe for bangers and mash. It's a really nice comfort food. Tracy, I don't feel sorry for the staffers who will be on the receiving end of William's raid. These are the staffers that made Meghan's life a living hell. Yes, the staffers that were complaining about 5 a.m. emails. Sugar Queen, I would love to see how much these tours cost also. Yes, Benjamin, 4 generations who've never worked. And a bunch of generations before that also. Yeah. Yeah, Avery, telling people to mind their business when the British have done nothing but meddle in other people's businesses. The cheek of these people. Yeah. Yeah, Marina, it's the unreal mafia and the media and the government that are bringing this country down. Okay? And we have the right to speak on these things if we want to. Yeah, Avery, when have the British royals ever minded their own business? Uh, yeah, Joe Blogs, go back to your ancestors' countries. Does she realize what William's ancestors did to our ancestors' countries? Clearly, no knowledge of British history. I mean, the disconnect of people sometimes. Um, the fact that the royals just live these privileged lives that we pay for. Yeah, TP, Mary needs to talk about Dan Wooten, the Prime Minister, UK media. That's what she needs to talk about. Yes, Mary has been talking to Samantha. Mary might actually be Samantha. I always find it weird when I get comments like that. I do wonder how they even find my channel. Mm. Okay, let's scroll down a little bit. The comments. Yes, Suzuki. Mary needs to go read up on her history. Mm. Yes, Amy, Nina. They never expected Sausage Squad to be there for Harry and Meghan, these bullies. And I do believe that we have really made a difference with our pushback and all the platforms that we've started. Oh, Caroline, just 68 years old. That's amazing. See? I love that there's so many diverse people listening. Frederica, I'm Gen X. Diana is 4 years younger than I am, while Edward is 1 year older. And I don't know if I mentioned this in another podcast, but there was one day, and I don't really talk about this podcast too much to my friends and family. Like they know that I have it, but I don't really talk about it too much. But one day, my 15-year-old sister just randomly started talking about Diana and all the stuff that Diana has done. And so, like, these kids, they do know. And she couldn't really say anything about Kate, about William, about Charles, or Camilla, other than in relation to Diana. So, what does it say? That Diana has been deceased for 2.5 decades, and the next generation know more about her than they know about the current royals. Okay, let's see what else I had to say. Sorry about the rant, but I just had to address that because sometimes these people do need to be put in check. Um, oh yes, just a little bit of random British news. There is a MP called Charlie Elphicke, and a woman claimed that she had been assaulted by him. He's a Tory minister. He tried to sue the Sunday Times for libel, and after, because they reported on the case, so after he was jailed for the offence, he dropped the libel case. And now some very strange things are coming out about his wife and how his wife got her husband's seat. So the Sunday Times reports Natalie Elphicke, his wife, is now MP for Dover, having been given her husband's parliamentary seat after his conviction forced him to quit before the last general election. The story of how she got her seat is a mystery. 5 weeks before the polling day in December, she announced she had been unanimously selected, only for it to emerge later that the local Conservative Association had put her forward as the only candidate. Some believe she was given the seat to keep it warm for her husband, her husband who was convicted of assault, who was on bail at the time, or as the fulfillment of a secret pact in exchange for which she would support him through his trials. It can today be revealed that only 3 weeks ago, Natalie put her name to a statement for submission to the High Court, defending her ex husband in the libel claim against the Sunday Times and maintaining his innocence. This week, she claimed she had repeatedly condemned his behavior to other women and herself. So it's really just showing the depths of corruption that are currently going on in our country. The fact that it would appear in a very shady way a woman who was married to an MP who was charged with assault somehow managed to get his seat. Um, Very strange. That was today's random UK piece of news. Mhm. Federica, that is very interesting how no family members are public people aside from the Markles. We never knew what any of the in-laws thought from the Queen's children to the grandchildren. We never knew what any of the in-laws thought. Oh, what do you mean on the Queen's side? Sorry, I'm not. I feel like I'm not quite getting your comment there. But on that, I do find it strange that all we ever hear from is the Markles, and we never hear about Doria's side. They've kept it classy. Dre blogs. I didn't realize Kitty and Emma were friends. Yeah, they are friends. Emma was at Kitty's wedding. Yes, Robin Rogers. I think many old women saw what Diana went through, saw the favoritism William was shown, and the ugly side of the Windsor clan. Yeah. To be honest with you, after Diana, that should have just been it. They managed so well to just hang on by a thread there. And I think that they did use the boys a lot to turn drum up sympathy from the publics. Frederica met Tam Merritt of Norway was a party girl. But I saw her at Harvard one year taking business courses. I was there with APA. This is around 2000 when she first married into the family. Well, I think it's great that other royal families are okay with people who enter their family just being people, just being normal people. And yes, when you're young, you're meant to party, you're meant to have fun, go do your degree, and it's not something that you should be judged for. What, Diane? What is a banger? A banger is a sausage. Should I get a picture of bangers and mash so you can see what it looks like? Let me get a picture. Um, very easy to make, but there's different recipes. The recipe I make is with Marmite and mustard. Wait, let me get a nice picture of bangers and mash. I can promise you that it actually tastes a lot better than what it looks. Because I think a lot of people see bangers and mash and they're like, "Oh Christ, what is that?" Let me try and get a nice picture because it's not the prettiest looking dish in the world, but it does taste nice. I promise you. Yeah, okay. Here we go. I'll do like one episode where I um I just give you a list of great British dishes to try. Mm. That's what bangers and mash looks like. It's just sausage with mashed potatoes and peas. Um, yeah, bangers and mash on Friday. That's great, Elaine. Raven, my 78-year-old and 80-year-old mother and aunt are Sausage Squad, plus my 39-year-old. That is amazing, Raven. That is amazing. Oh dear, we've got a few bots. No, we don't want to see your hot girls and hot boys webcam. Thank you very much. Take that somewhere else, please. Yes, absolutely, Avery. Commonwealth makes them feel like they still have an empire. Oh gosh. Sorry, trying to get rid of these. Yes, Lydia, sausage over mashed potatoes. Sugar Queen, most royal women other than the UK royals are very successful in their own right. The Queen of Jordan is not only beautiful, but run her own business before she became queen. True that. And Nightly Night, did Kate do any speeches during the tour? Yes, she did. One, and it was on childhood development. It's just the usual speech that she gives on childhood development every single time she talks about it, but a little bit changed. Now, Robin, their service on Tuesday will be to normalize Prince Philip. The news feed will be about Prince Harry's absence. Yeah, they'll make sure to talk about him. Mm. Alright. Benjamin, I wouldn't be surprised to learn that Samantha has a plethora of names she posts under. Well, she made 12 different Twitter accounts and they all got shut down. So I'm sure that she probably has quite a lot of accounts on other social media networks as well. Oh, thank you so much, Elaine, for checking the comments. I really do appreciate you, mods. Really do appreciate you. Yeah. JJ, Mary's probably Scammy the hater. Yes, indeed. William and Kate know what they did to Megan, and it will all come out one day. There's a lot that we haven't heard and don't know about. Mm. Freda, you're 70 from the US. Amazing. Oh, Elizabeth, you're new. Thank you so much for joining us, Elizabeth. Please do feel free to comment and offer your opinion. Yes, Annie, Sussex supporters forever. Till Archie gets his first Lamborghini. Okay, let's try and get through your comments. Oh, yeah. Black Queen. What a name for a sausage. Yeah. Um, no sausage or haggis for you. Do you know, I've never actually tried haggis. I need to get a little bit more familiar with Scottish and traditional Welsh cuisines. I'm very good with stuff from England, but not stuff that's more like traditional for Scotland and Wales. Like in Scotland, they have like this fish soup called like Cullen skink, which is like made with sea bass. And I don't think I've ever tried that. Marshall, that banger looks better than Willie dancing. It really does. Kathy G, what type of sausage? Um, you can make it with any type of sausage, I think, really, even like a veggie sausage, but I usually make it with Cumberland sausage. Okay, let's try and scroll through here. The banger looks like Charles's finger. Oh, behave, Cindy. Uh, PQ Mott Duchess of Success, something went wrong. Royal Sussex Sunday Live review was not available. Oh, is it Baron's? Um, I'm not gonna lie, guys. The program that we use, and I think Baron probably uses the same one called StreamYard. It really does act up sometimes. So it could just be something with the platform, um, or I don't know. Maybe he's just I haven't gotten around to watching Baron's podcast today, but I'm assuming it's probably just some kind of technical difficulty, either with StreamYard, um, yeah, something like that, something like that. Unfortunately, some of these things just aren't in our control, and you guys know what trouble I've had with internet this last week. Mm. Diane, they'll probably free up Harry's security on Tuesday morning and then claim he had no security problem, so he could have come to Phil's wedding morning circus. I'm sure they'll try something. I'm sure they will. Oh, thank you so much, Elizabeth, for subscribing. Yes, please do. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. And I hope everyone, as Wilson said, is having a wonderful Sunday. Ooh, it's just try to get through all your comments before we call it a day. Beverly, I wonder how many of them will stay up late to see if the Sussexes will be at the Oscars. Losing sleep, nothing. We'd love to know how they spread lies about it. Yeah, that's one of the things that I bet they absolutely hate now, and probably why they all look so haggard nowadays, because they have to be up every time something happens in California, because that's the time that they're on now. They're on a Cali time zone. And Harry and Meghan are either doing things when it's late at night or early morning in the UK, or they put things out when it's late at night or early morning in the UK. So that must be very annoying. I've got one person that does not like the bangers and mash. I was looking for that one person, like, no, this is not for me. Fair enough, TS, fair enough. But I can, are those Charles's fingers? I can promise you that it tastes a lot better than it looks. Oh my gosh. Uh, Elizabeth, I visited the UK many years ago and enjoyed your Sunday roast dinner as a Yorkshire pudding. Yes, I love Yorkshire pudding, and roast dinner is fantastic too. You know, people often make the joke about the UK that they went around looting half the planet and didn't bring back any spices for their food. But if you actually cook British dishes well, um, they do taste nice. They don't necessarily actually need spices. But yeah. Yeah, fish and chips too. I do love me some fish and chips. Anyway, before I end, just wanted to remind everyone that we are indeed what is it, 19 days away from the Invictus Games, and somebody took a picture of what their park looked like. You can see here all the event promo um, that's being put up, looking very professional, looking very much like something that you'd see at the Olympic Games, and they're really upping things up. Um, Upping up the efforts this year, and I do think that this is going to be I think this is going to be the year that pushes Invictus into the mainstream, because I think so far it's it's been successful, but I don't think Invictus is yet mainstream in the way that other big sporting events are. And I think this is the year that it becomes mainstream. This is the year that Invictus trends throughout the whole of the games on a daily basis, like you would see at the Olympics or the Commonwealth Games. And I do think that Invictus has the potential to get on the level as many of the other big sporting events. So very much looking forward to that, and great to see all of the posters. The branding is on point, and I'm very excited. The countdown begins. Mm. Thank you so much, Connie Barker. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate you all being here. Actually, you're not with the bang of the mash either. uh, okay, for the next podcast, I'm gonna start with like a rundown of the 10 best dishes from Britain, and you can choose which ones you want to try. Marina, I'll try the bangers. Give us the recipe. Just look for it on YouTube. Just search bangers and mash. Uh, and just look for the one that actually wait no. I'll try and get it for you here. Um, let's have a look. Um, okay, I'll put you the recipe that I use in the comment section. There you go, and I'll pin it. Okay. Ruth Lopez, it doesn't matter what the UK says about Harris security. The proof will be when The Hague has no problem with Harris security. Absolutely. And it's just oh dear, the trolls are coming in with their nasty comments. um it just looks so bad on the royals for not giving Harry his security, given what happened to Diana. Squaddies, please visit Switzerland this summer. You'll be surprised. And I will take anyone out for dinner, lunch, or breakfast. Oh, what a nice offer, Connie. What a lovely offer. I would love to come to Switzerland. I just hear it's a bit expensive. And or do you enjoy HP sauce? Yes, I love HP sauce. Absolutely love it. Some people find it a little bit too sweet, but I like it. TS, I had the best fish and chips in Scotland was big and juicy, wrapped in newspaper. Was it wrapped in actual newspaper? Because that's something that they used to do back in the day, but they stopped doing it because the food would run on the ink. I didn't know that some places still did that. But those big juicy chips are the best. Joanne being Joan Duchess being vegetarian, I could make that with a vegetarian sausage. Absolutely, you could. Yes, yes, you could. Has anyone actually got tickets for Invictus? Is anyone planning on going? I would love to go if it was within my budget, but as you guys know, um, I'm trying to I'm trying to move, so um, I need to save more of my money. Otherwise, I would have gone. Okay, just watch Murad's video and shared it on Twitter. Yes, Murad's been covering quite a bit of the disaster tour. I love Murad. He always comes out for Meghan and Harry. Trolls coming on the channel is a testament to how powerful you are. They're spitting. Yeah, because they can't control the narrative anymore. We do. I used to like Marmite, but not anymore. Well, I don't actually like Marmite on its own, but I do use it for my bangers and mash recipe. Ask me if they say it's sold out. I'm sure it is, and I can't wait to see those crowds. I'm sure a lot of people are excited to watch the games. The King and Queen are going to be there of the Netherlands. Excited to see Harry and Meghan, and just excited to be out and about, I guess, after 2 years of being in lockdown. I'm interested to know where the next Invictus game is going to be. If it was in the US, that would be great. Okay, I actually managed to get to the end of the comments finally. So who's yes, the ticket games were very, very affordable. And it's great that it was so accessible to everyone. Oh wow, how do you pronounce Worcestershire sauce? I think is it Worcester? Worcestershire? I'm not actually sure if I'm honest. Worcestershire. Yeah, Worcestershire, I think. Okay. Oh, next one is in Germany in 2023. Okay. That's really good. Okay. So, who's going to get the last word of the day? Thank you so much everyone for coming and for our super chats and our new member. Yeah, Kate, I'd love to go to Germany as well. I've been to Berlin and Cologne, so I'd love to go back. I also want to visit Frankfurt, but I think it's in Dusseldorf. But whatever, I don't mind where it is. I'd just love to go to Germany again. Oh, Joe Blog, Worcester sauce. Yes, that sounds a little bit more right. Okay, Lottie G, I will give you the last word of the day. Thank you once again, everyone. Happy Mother's Day Sunday again to everyone in the UK. And I will see you all, I guess, tomorrow if anything happens. Otherwise, have a great week. And thank you very much. Bye.
I got this feeling like it's starting now, starting now. I feel adventurous with you. And there is nothing that can hold us back, hold us back. We can do what we want to do. 'Cause we got all